Hello, good evening. It is I, your guidance counselor. I'm very disappointed in you. Welcome to Down Outlands. King Ginger
Get in line.
Weird stuff. If everyone could go around the table, introduce yourselves, we'll jump in tonight. I don't want to fool around.
I am Shannon. I am currently playing Savannah, who is a Nimblewright, and occasionally Charity Mummart, which is how I started. And I'm only kind of playing Charity right now because strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
I'm Cassandra. I'm playing Amulet Sticky Fingers, who is a Kender Barbarian.
I am Nate. I am playing Twig Swiftstrike, Otterkin Rogue Warlock.
This new order is throwing me off.
Me too.
I'm Warrior. I play Monty, a GIF fighter. I also play Akko, a Knoll fighter. It's all fight all the time over here in Warrior Land.
Just fighting boys. Street fighting boys.
Those are the characters I play.
Round 1 and 2, fight.
Well, let's jump in. We're going to start off tonight with Savannah and Monty. It's the next day, maybe a couple days. I haven't decided. Time is not a flat circle. And you are in your ROG 102 class. Your bad times don't last, but bad people do class. And your instructor is Mistress Zora Lestend, a thick with 2 C's tiefling who brings you to a wall and a gate just kind of pressed away from the hustle and bustle of the liminal space. The gate's high, or excuse me, the gate's big, but the wall is high. And there's just a perpetual fog over that area when you look at it from afar. She lets you know that this, my beautiful, beautiful children, this is the Scuttling Ruins. It's the remains of the parish. Well, pretty much the remains of the parish. For those of you who don't know, our wonderful new home was built on the backs, well, mainly the backbone, of another place, an institution. And for better or for worse, I, for one, think better. Most of the buildings there were, let's just say, lively. So in order to test your metal today. Our first class. I really want to see how each and every one of you can get by in a hungry environment. So, I've taken a local person, just a crafts person. I don't know who they are. I just decided they were it. And I've placed them inside of the scuttling ruins. So your job is to find them before they become food for any of the myriad of mimics who are living in this area. Not to mention if there's any, just other things hungry and our little slice of nightmare fuel here in liminal space. Enjoy. When she kind of hustles you all through the gates.
Okay.
Oh, I wouldn't dawdle.
I'm not dawdling. Is there Bagman in here?
She looks at you and she says, there could be anything in here.
Why would you say that to me?
Because
Oh,
there
yeah.
could. I want you both to make me perception checks as she says that.
Yes, sir.
Natural 20.
Oh,
That's 23.
11. Not as great.
So, Savannah, you can see some shapes in the fog move and kind of scatter. Monty, as you're looking at this, something catches your eye and you kind of look over to your right, a block down, and you see a lamppost grow legs and run down the street.
That lamppost is moving. It's running away, and I'm going to go chase it.
You want to go chase it?
I'm going to go chase it.
Oh, I neglected to tell you, your other students in this class are Runny Ink, who is a Tabaxi, Chicken, who is a Kenku, Shell, who is a I can't remember, a Verdine, I want to say. Let me make sure. Yep, I'm sorry, Verdan. And then Rosine Frostwing, who none of you have really met, who is an Owlin.
Do I have my rust monsters with me?
I don't know, do you?
Yes.
Okay.
I like to think that they're gonna follow her around now.
Okay, yeah.
They're her babies.
I will say then you're going to have to continually tell me what you're feeding them.
Sure.
Okay. So you're gonna need like a little bag, a satchel of junk to feed.
Mm-hmm.
To feed Eenie and Meanie. And yes, they are named after maggots from X-Men's, two weird maggot things. So just so everyone gets that out of the way.
Just
Because I'm a weirdo and I like that character.
everybody shut up already about the X-Men origins of these rust monsters. Nerds.
They are an homage. One might say a straight ripoff.
Literally straight stole.
Yep. The only thing that's different is they're a different animal and they're not coming out of your stomach. But they're straight, they're a straight ripoff.
Also gross.
Yeah. Can we talk for a second how creepy Maggot's mutant power actually was?
I mean, I don't know what you were expecting with the name.
Maggot.
Like cute, fluffy Care Bear stare.
I also liked Marrow. So
Marrow is underrated. Marrow's cool.
Maggot was super cool too. That's a really interesting time in the X-Men. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna stop talking about it. I think I talked this on Tiny Ming last week with Matt. So anyway, so Monty, are you going to see if anyone is gonna back you up? Or are you just gonna truck on?
I don't know. Are we? Is the teacher still here?
Pull your goggles down.
Is the teacher still here?
She has moved to the other side of the gate. And
are we competing with each other? Or are we working together? What's the objective here? We team.
The objective is to find the nameless craftsperson, the civilian, if you will.
We're not competing necessarily. Okay.
I mean, you're not competing.
Oh, you're so mysterious. Monty has his helmet on for sure. And he's drawn his enormous blunderbuss. He's like, all right, commandos, we got to go find the mysterious craft person who no one knows what they look like or who they are even. It's the most important mission in the galaxy right now.
It's fair.
That 3 pole over there is moving.
Rosine, who is a slightly rotund Owlin, she looks at you and she's like, I'm not taking instructions from a child? How old are you?
9.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get this and I'm gonna bring them back. And sorry, all's fair in love and war. And she flaps her wings and goes up. Chicken looks at all of you and says, all is fair in love and war?
Yeah.
And then points.
They say that.
And you see a garbage can chasing a swarm of cats.
Kitties, no.
And when it gets close, it bends its lid down and it chomps, and you see a massive tongue and teeth. Shell looks at Savannah. Since I believe, Savannah, you are the oldest person here in this small group. She looks up at you. Well, and at Ink, and she says, I do not like this class.
This is really messed up.
This is wrong. What do we do?
I think we have to kill inanimate objects until we find a person who lost may or may not be noted by anyone.
Savannah, make me a insight check.
Oh my god, my cat is stealing my die. Yeah. Baby, no. She did this with my D20 last week. Oh, 18.
As you're kind of taking stock of the situation, you notice that Ink is just like looking at you like expectantly, like what do we do? Like he's not sure what to do. Looks a little overwhelmed in the moment.
Okay, question for you. I know I had been looking into finding someone that might be able to add a voice modulator.
You have not done that yet. I know it's on your to-do list.
It is on my to-do list.
You've got a bunch of the equipment and you took it back to your dorm area, but you have not worked on it yet, nor have you solicited assistance.
Okay. She's gonna draw her rapier and look at the group. She'll kind of pat her leg to bring the rust monsters to her so that they join her, so that she's got the puppos to help with the battle. And she'll start going through this extremely complicated series of hand gestures. So she'll point at Ink with me, who's probably the second most. She'll point at one of the other ones who looks a little more experienced in the back. Like she's trying.
Just Chicken, Shell, Ink, and Monty.
Okay.
Chicken and Ink look a little like, what is going on? And Shell is in the underclass with Monty. She's younger.
Can she tell, like, can I make like a perception check to see if any of them like look like they have the ability to back up what they're saying? Like they look like they could kick some ass.
Yeah, you can either use that or you can give me a history check at disadvantage to know what you know about them based upon your week or so at school with them.
Okay. Let's do history. Well, that was a poor choice because it's thanks. Because 4 is not going to be very helpful.
You know that Ink is some type of fighter. And you've seen that he carries like these like circular handle blades with like knives come out. You
Yeah, but you let me stab him twice, so
Yeah. You know that Chicken and Shell are both. Excuse me. You know that Chicken and Shell are both in the Stealth and Song hall. So they're probably kind of roguey, bardy. You don't know anything about Rosine, and she's gone. So,
okay.
but also you've noticed that Chicken just tends to repeat things that are already said. Like
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've literally had military training. I'm combat certified.
Shell kind of looks at everybody, and Monty's pulled down his two monocled, taped together goggles. He's got his blunderbuss out, and she's like, I'm gonna go with Monty. And she rolls her sleeves up, and you see her hand wraps, and they just start to glow a little bit as she kind of clenches and unclenches her fists. Ink looks at them and goes, "Oh, so it's like that." And he goes, "What? Savannah, I'm with you. What are we doing?"
She looks very well, she has no expression. She looks toward Monty as though something concerns her slightly. And she'll shake her head. She'll write on her chalkboard really quickly, "We should stay together." And just
Sure.
like,
yeah, okay. I could read it from there. My eyes are pretty good.
So when you say that,
show.
Chicken looks at all of you and says, "So it's like that, is it?"
Yeah, it's like the if you go. So this is like ruins, basically, foggy ruins.
Not all of them. Some of them they're just constantly shifting.
Okay.
It looks ruiny, but sometimes the houses look immaculate. It just depends.
Okay.
It's unsettling. Let's put it that way.
Sure. All right.
All right, we're gonna go save some cats.
Let's go get the cats. Or the
Yeah,
cats.
so you're gonna go chase those cats.
We're gonna go get the garbage
Chase
can.
those cats. Chase those cats. So you guys all start jogging, and Shell kind of tugs on your leg, Savannah, and she looks up at you with. I don't know how familiar everyone is with Verdun, but they're kind of like almost like a kind of a mix of a halfling and a goblinoid. So they've got, rather than kind of the rough features of a goblin, it's more smooth. And they're kind of looked at like as these weird, like super evolved goblinoids. Can't even control their evolution, actually. For reference, you can find them in the Acquisitions Incorporated book. So she looks at you and she says, "I can get there faster if you think that's a good idea." Okay, or not, good idea. Cool. And she like kind of falls back into line. You could tell like she is going slower so you guys can all keep up. Like she can move.
Just shake her head and just kind of do one of these, like, go ahead.
She kind of looks and smiles, and she gives you a bigger thumbs up. And she literally starts running and runs up a wall around something and shoots around a corner. She like parkours.
I think Monty's going to try to do that too.
Make me a dexterity check, please.
Okay. I will.
Why? Do you know how hard it is to see all of this and play a character who has zero emotion?
That's 19.
I thought Nimblerites could potentially have emotions.
They can potentially have emotion, but they can't like express anything per se.
19, you said?
19. Monty is surprisingly dexterous.
So Monty runs and he starts to try to do the up the wall side, and you realize, based upon your King Commando training, that's not going to work for you. So instead, you like pommel horse over these boxes. As you do that, one of the boxes scuttles away after you use it as a pommel horse. Like, oh god, doesn't attack, it just runs away.
Wait, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, all right. He'll check to make sure that it's not trying to eat.
Chicken looks at all of you and goes, "So it's like that, is it?"
Can he?
So it's like that, is it? So it's like that, is it?
Can he pole vault over the wall with his blunderbuss?
You could try.
Why?
He's got to get over the wall, right? So.
Oh, no, it's around a corner. You're like,
it's around a corner. They just wall ran.
Between,
okay.
Yeah. There's just debris different places.
Sure,
because
that's
kind
cool.
of ruining.
He's good, then he won't.
You could still try to pole vault over something if you really want.
I'll save that for the time he needs to pole vault over.
All I'm seeing in my head is like Michael Scott, like parkour, extreme.
It is a little Michael Scott. Not gonna lie.
Labored somersault. Slow labored.
So as you kind of Monty stop and look behind you, like all kind of like come with me, slightly excited about your skills. You feel Ink's hand on your shoulder, and he goes, "Yeah, but look right there. Look right there."
What is it? He's looking.
You see all of these small animal shapes kind of flap and land. They look too big to be birds. Maybe drakes, but the shape isn't right. They all land.
What are those? You seen those?
Chicken's right up against you and goes, "What?
What? Where did you come from?
What are those?" Ink goes, "I don't know, man. You're the one with the equipment."
He'll get up on any boxes that haven't turned out to be
have legs and a personality,
and he'll sort of peek over in that direction through the scope on his blunderbuss.
Excellent.
It's a pretty short range scope because it's a blunderbuss.
Make perception with advantage.
Ooh, with advantage. 18.
They're cats, but they all have wings.
Oh, the cats have wings. They're flying cats.
I don't really know what. I don't know what those are.
Yeah, like where I'm from, they have flying cats, but they just have little jetpacks. So I haven't seen ones with wings before.
We have flying cats, but they're called like Tessa worms. I don't deal with them very much. I live down.
Oh, like worm cat.
Tilts his head like a cat would. Like, what are you talking about?
She kind of the whole time, like you just see in the background, like Savannah's just like slides in anime style, like kind of close to Ink, and starts like looking at his back to see if there's wings, and like poking.
You feel like his tail hitting your legs, and then slowly, like, kind of pushes you to the side of him, like where he can see you in his peripheral. And he kind of looks at it and he goes, "You don't have wings." And Chicken goes, "Have wings."
Yeah, you have wings. You could pretend to be a winged cat or something.
Winged cat?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Ink goes, "I think that was a incredulous response, man."
I think they're fine. I think they're friendly. They look nice.
Well, like,
Cats with wings, fine.
Should we go up to him?
Sure.
Show Savannah.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go.
Savannah takes her chalkboard and writes and just turns it around and shows it to the winged cats, and it just says, "Psst,
So the cats, the Tessums slowly kind of meander their way up this kind of foggy, thin street, and they're kind of all looking at you. And they're kind of looking around, but they also seem slightly kind of bemused by your presence.
Have you seen a person in distress, Kitty?
They kind of all tilt their head almost simultaneously in different directions. And Ink kind of looks at you and goes, do you have any food in your backpack or anything?
Yeah, I've got the deck.
Could you
some decks.
Can we give him a little bit of your snack?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, do it. I'll pull like a whole ass ham sandwich.
He goes, damn.
Growing boy, I need snack.
I want that to be the episode title. A whole ass ham sandwich.
Chicken goes, damn.
And he'll sort of like hold out. He'll rip a piece of the ham off and he'll like hold it.
They all slowly and cautiously make their way up.
It's not poison ham. Pretty good.
One kind of takes a little nibble, and once it kind of starts to circle around you, and the rest of them start to come. And there's like a good 10 of them. Your ham sandwich gets devoured.
That's fine. Thank you, brave soldier, for your sacrifice.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Chicken looks at the ham sandwich. Chicken looks at the ham sandwich sort of forlornly and goes, brave sacrifice.
Shaggy, Jesus.
So do you know? Is there a person here, like a person who's in trouble? Do you show up?
They kind of look at you, and then a big noise happens, like 3 or 4 blocks away. Like not quite an explosion, but definitely a kerfuffle.
Not an explosion.
Yeah, not an explosion. And a bunch of them fly away, but the first one stops.
Not an explosion.
Yeah, technically not an explosion. The very first one who took some of the ham sandwich does not fly away. It kind of still sits there and looks at you, looks over where the explosion was, and then starts to just make its way, like almost like walks back towards the foggy area where it came from, and then it walks about 10 feet and then turns around and looks at you, and then he stares ahead and then turns around and looks at you.
But he's following the cat. The Tresson, for sure. Like, it's like I made a friend. We're friends now. We're best friends.
Ink looks at Savannah and goes, I'm all for following cats. I mean, come on. But we just met this cat. I don't know this cat.
She writes down, she erases the and then just writes, I just met you.
Oh, snap. Oh,
he kind of looks slightly looks like, ow. He says, fair enough. Chicken looks at you.
She comes back and figures out that he didn't take that the right way, and she puts like a very tiny like smiley face and then just like turns it back around.
He's already started to walk away, and Chicken looks at you and goes, fair enough. Fair enough. And puts her arm around your shoulder and kind of like gives you a reassuring kind of half hug. So you start to move through this foggy area, and the test worm you're following stops and starts to hiss.
At me or at something?
Something ahead.
There's something ahead. That's what the cat's mad at. It's not mad at me. We're friends.
All right.
Jesus.
I'd like perception checks at disadvantage, please, because it's foggy.
I rolled a 13 both times, so
Nice.
I rolled a 14 and a 19. Weirdly.
Whoa!
So that's
hey.
17 per month.
Both of you catch this, and you just see that there's just a bunch of cats ahead, kind of meandering around. Maybe they're eating something. Or at
Just
least
regular cats?
you just see cat shapes. Yeah, it looks like they're eating something.
Do they look like normal size cat shapes? Or are they like tabaxi size cat shapes?
No, they're just various sizes and shapes of normal cat.
Okay. It's okay. He bends down and pets the Tretham. Like, thank you for your service today. I'm going to go scout ahead to see what they're eating. Maybe I hope it's Hampton.
The Tressum then goes to you and starts kind of walking between the rest of you. You gonna
Monty tries to do the thing, but he has a lisp, so it's just really wet.
That's fair. Monty, you're gonna move ahead.
Yeah, Monty's gonna go check it out.
Monty, you move ahead.
He approaches strategically.
Yeah, just kind of corner to corner, very first-person shooter style.
Yeah, keeping cover if he can, but not too close because it might be monsters. So,
and you see probably a good 20 cats, and they're picking at some sort of mass on the ground.
Gross.
Does he make any details out, or just a mass?
You're not sure it's meat of some type, but you're not sure what it was when it was moving around, because it ain't moving anymore.
Oh. It's not gonna lie, it's regrowth up there.
Don't like it.
You think if you get closer, you might be able to tell more, but
I'll take one for the team, and I'll go see what it was. They'll go up to it closer.
You're about 30 feet in front of everybody else, and they're just coming down the street. You've done the whole serpentine around as a super commando.
Savannah's trying to pick up the pace, but I feel like she's trying to pick up the pace and get everybody to move, but then she's also trying to make sure that the rust monsters stop like trying to smell the butt of the winged cat. It's like
that's fair. Yeah, that's actually what I was going to say, something similar.
Yeah.
You've got animal control problems.
Yeah.
Chicken, whenever the rust monsters kind of come out and do their thing, she just looks at you and she goes, "Cats?" All right.
Rust monsters. Good
She looks at that and
voice.
she goes, "Cat?" So Monty, you go up and you're moving up cautiously. Cats kind of look at you and they kind of walk around.
Uh-oh. I think
Twig, is it just you and me now?
I'm here.
Okay, yeah. I had a weird
you and Amulet froze for a second.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Weird. So
No.
I don't know.
No, Amulet's the meat.
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway,
No!
you move closer, and when you do, they kind of just meander around you, kind of like they're looking at you, checking you out. You look closer, and it looks to be a larger, like, drake that they're eating on. Too big to be like one of the flying drakes in the area. This thing, you're not even sure how it got here. Make me a nature check.
7.
You kind of look more at it, and it just doesn't look right.
It's dead though.
It's dead, but it looks like there's like an extra head coming out of its stomach. There's teeth around its eye sockets.
Gross.
And then you hear a weird noise.
From where? Where's it coming?
There's one cat who's kind of stood up on some of the meat and was licking it. And once you get close, it kind of makes this like it's a meow, but it is not a meow.
Oh,
And that's when
kitty.
a few of the others start to do that. And you notice the meow isn't coming from their heads. It's because they've all are misshapen and they're moving because their bodies are actually mouths. And now we're in initiative.
Oh no.
Cat mimics. So meanwhile, while you guys roll,
It's fucked up.
meanwhile, while you guys are rolling initiative, let's go over, save your initiative roll. We'll come back to it. Amulet, you are in the knowing your place, dragons in the world around you class.
Oh boy.
Make me a dexterity check or an acrobatics check to not be late.
Oh shit. That's. Oh, but I have advantage. I rolled a 3 and a 4.
Beautiful.
So I mean, there's
Beautiful.
nothing I can add to that. That's
So,
gonna help.
so you stroll it. You're running in. You're sweating, and there is a older dragonborn leaning against a desk. One of his horns is gone, and he's just looking at this hourglass on his desk. You look around when you come in the room, and you see a couple people that you do know, and you see a couple people that you don't know. You do see Tika in your class, and you do see Rosalie, who you've met before. But you also see a teenaged, I don't know how you would say that, tiefling, who seems to be kind of looking around as he's writing feverishly in a book. The instructor, whose name is Old Suitbeard, looks at you and he says, well, apparently you don't know how to tell time. Or is it just you're a poor planner?
I mean, I know how to tell time. I just have very short legs and long way to run.
You know what dragons hate? I'm not asking a rhetorical question.
Do I know? Do I know?
Tardiness.
Oh, okay.
How are you ever supposed to find your place in their world when you can't even show up for their world? I don't abide.
Thinks I'm cool.
I don't abide by tardy students. You get one. Just one. Find a chair, Miss Sticky Fingers.
You said this was days later, right?
Yeah, well, you guys are all on the same day, but yeah.
Well, but not like I was coming from the meeting that Dress
No,
took
God,
to
no,
with
no.
Casca. Okay.
I will say that Keskin wasn't there when you guys got there because you dawdled too long. You haven't seen Keskin in a couple days.
Didn't Doddle Dress flew me there?
I know, and he was like, hey, sorry about that. You're late. Shouldn't have been screwing around with your tiny family.
I didn't Doddle.
Hey, man.
Fine.
You tiny people, you're always causing problems. Personally, I didn't even see what the Dark Queen sees in you guys, but I mean, whatever.
We cook a mean Sunday dinner, that's why. You're going to find out.
I'll find out. All right. So
sit down wherever there's an open chair.
Rosalie pulls a chair up beside her, and she's like, Sorry, I thought you were better at being on time. Otherwise, I would have came and got you.
Well, some days.
She just kind of gives you this look of like, I'm really sorry. Then you hear Tika, who's sitting behind both of you, say, shh, in a voice and breath loud enough it moves both of your hair.
God, I hope it smells good.
Make me a perception check.
My new dice really, really don't like me. That would be a 9.
It smells like meat.
Okay.
Cooked, uncooked, you're not sure, but it smells like meat.
Okay.
She is a hill giant, so
Yeah.
So as Old Suitbeard begins a very droning and condescending lecture on the later races and their place of subservience within the multiverse and dragons, the door you hear like a slight kind of rapping at the door that you came in.
Who's there? Do I have to answer it? Is it closed?
You're the closest one to it.
Do I think I can open it without Old Soupbeard yelling at me?
You can make a stealth check.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Yep.
see if I can secret open the door. Hey, that's my first decent one. 19.
You kind of like reach over with your hoop hack and you hook it on the door handle and leaning against the door frame is Dresk.
Oh shit.
Hey, come on, we got some stuff to do.
I am gonna get yelled at. No.
I don't care.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell her you said no then.
You tell her I have class and I will come afterwards.
All right, I'll deliver the news.
I'm
Good
sorry.
luck.
If she wants to get me a note to get out of class.
As you start to get louder, you hear a and a loud like cloud of smoke dissipates in the air.
So we're dressed with
Sticky fingers. Anything you'd like to share with the rest of the class?
No,
I've already given you one today.
I just had something in my throat.
Well, next time you have something in your throat, do us all a favor and keep it to yourself.
I just was choking.
Enough. So he starts to pull down this really large kind of diagram of the great wheel cosmos when you hear this angry yell in a language you do not speak.
Coming from where?
From the hallway.
The voice I recognize? Is the door still open?
No, but as you go, glad the door's not open, it gets kicked in. I do not wait for you. You come when called.
Does Old Suitbeard do anything?
He looks like he's getting ready to talk, say something, and Keska gives him a look that is absolutely terrifying. Do not think that I am above beating up a pathetic old man.
Can I get permission
No
to go?
words. Little sister Rise, come now.
Shit. I'm gonna get in trouble.
You are in very much trouble.
I'm gonna get in trouble with my teacher.
She stares at him like just daggers. Will there be trouble, old man? Everyone like in the classroom is watching this volley back and forth and then watching you. And Rosalie kind of grabs you. You should run.
I stand up.
Time to go. No more wait. I never wait for anything.
I'll come talk to you about extra credit later. And I leave.
Ugh. Damn Kinder. Keska walks like imperiously out of the hallway and actually out of the building itself. Dresk is kind of tottering along behind you, kind of chuckling a little bit. Says, I told you.
Well, I can't fail classes.
That's not her concern.
It's gonna have to be. If they kick me out, I won't be around here to do things for her.
Hey, like I told you, it's not about that. When the boss calls, the boss calls.
Just keep walking.
All right, now we go over to Twig. Twig, you are in your class that is the masks we wear. In your class with you, or Aragorn Reinhard, who is the dwarf, which I don't know if you had a class with him before. No, I don't think you did. Basana Bumblecup and Doris Salt. Your instructor for this class is Bellish. So he welcomes you all in, and in tow for him, he has a young girl, a kid who looks about his age, so about 10, and an old woman. I'm sorry, no, I take it back. He has a young girl about his age, an old woman, and a young man who's probably like maybe 16, 17 years old, who you've seen around your area where your family lives. You know he's a farmhand. So Bellish is talking about how important it is when you are working towards something you want, when you're trying to ensure that you are getting what you need, how important it is to coax people. He keeps moving his hands, and make me a insight check.
That is 18.
These three people are just following his hand like it's the only thing in the room. Whenever you wish to master a situation, you master yourself first. And by mastering yourself, then you will always master others. I wear this mask all the time. Those of you who do not know me well, just see a child. Perhaps a child who's exceptional. But those of you who have seen me know I am far more than a child. This is a mask of innocence that hides beneath, that is a veneer that hides beneath it a predator. And he smiles, and his canine teeth grow abnormally large. Twig, you hear your other classmates kind of gasp. I mean, you've seen Bellish before, so this does not. Damn it, warrior! This does not shock you at all. But you can hear the other people in the class are a little shook by that, and he proceeds to basically make these people be human furniture before finally saying, and the ultimate matter of trust and control is that I can feed on my cattle whenever I please, and they neither care nor is it a worry. And he looks like as if he's picking who he's going to feed on. Do you want to do anything about this? Like, it's pretty disturbing stuff.
So they're all okay with this?
That's an excellent question, Mr. Swiftstrike. Do they need to be okay with it is the question you should be asking yourself. Are oysters okay with it when you crack them on your soft belly and devour them?
I mean, I don't ask if I can eat the oyster, but that's not exactly the same as a person.
How is it not the same? They're my food source. Are oysters not your food source?
They are, but are oysters sentient?
They live. Do you know if they have hopes or dreams? We have awakened animals throughout our multiverse. Would you still eat them for food? If you
Are there
didn't know
awakened
where they're
oysters?
awakened. I'm sure there is.
Have you met one?
No. But that doesn't mean it's not happened. There's myriads of worlds.
I guess anything's possible.
Do you eat your family? They're farmers. They're lily padders. Do you raise animals?
Yeah.
Do you befriend those animals first? Do you care for them? Do you feed them? Do you coddle them? Do you care about their well-being?
Well, yeah, it makes them better.
It does, doesn't it? Does it make them taste better?
I mean, I suppose.
It does, doesn't it? And then he feeds on the young girl for about a minute and then stops. And she just kind of slumps to the ground. He pats his lips dry with a little handkerchief. He's impeccably dressed. He looks over at you and he says, "It's no different. It's just I don't slaughter my cattle." But the real key to the exercise is this, Mr. Swiftstrike. If your will is strong enough, if your mask is good enough, well then, again, you can master anything or anyone. Make me a perception check.
17.
Now make me a charisma saving throw at advantage.
15.
For a second, you see your mother. And she's like holding food and she's like, "Come here." But you kind of catch this shimmering of Bellish becoming that. And you see a couple of your classmates like trying to shake off something. You see Aragorn Reinhardt actually get up and like scurry backwards out of his chair. And then you see Basana Bumblecup kind of takes a second, takes a deep breath, and she starts just to kind of giggle like, "This isn't going to work on me." But you do see Doris Salt stand up and start to kind of almost enthralledly walk up towards where Bellish's little area he's presenting at is.
Can I reach out and grab her before she gets too close?
Do you want to?
Yes.
All right. Make me an acrobatics check.
All right. Get advantage on those. 18.
You reach out and you grab her by her wrist, and she just uncannily, like you've never felt this before. It's almost like she just slips right through your hand, like almost like her bone was malleable. And you also know when you touch her, her skin feels oddly familiar. Like you felt skin like that before, but you can't quite place where. But because you made such a high roll, you reach down and you grab the hem of her skirt. And she turns to look at you and she just has glazed over eyes. And you can hear Bellish kind of chuckle slightly, and he says, "Ah, would you like to make this a test, Mr. Swiftstrike?"
Oh, I thought I was, and I passed.
If you let go of her, you would find you failed. So what I'm going to do is I am going to allow her to turn. And I'll give you a good minute, since that's all it took me, to convince her that she doesn't want to come here and feed me. Tick-tock, Mr. Swiftstrike, tick-tock. So what are you going to do, Twig? How are you going to try to break this kind of thrall?
That's a good question. Definitely don't have any spells that are going to help me. So Twig's going to kind of sit there and think a little bit. He's kind of just going to talk, thinking out loud. All right, you really don't want to do this. You don't want to be this food. That doesn't seem like any fun. Keeps going.
It's fair, Shaggy. That's fair.
That's not going to happen.
You know time is ticking down on you.
Yeah. Maybe you would like some of this instead. And he'll hand her the bottle of amber liquid that he got. Take a swig. It's great.
She just kind of looks at it. Are you going to try to kind of help her drink it?
Yeah, I'll kind of lift it up and see what she does.
Remind me again what the amber liquid is. Is
So
this what was given to you by Samedi?
Yeah. I've got
Perfect.
2/3 left.
Yeah. So a little bit hits her lips and she starts to sputter, and she kind of she literally falls on her ass. Kind of like, oh God, what? Whoa. And then she turns and looks at him, and even just having the cap of the bottle off, the vapors coming out of it, when you turn and look up at Bellish, he looks like a monster. He looks like everything is gaunt. He's got bat-like ears. He looks like a slavering, hungry, dead monster. So Doris screams and she scuttles her way backwards behind you. Are you going to cap the liquid?
I will put the cap back on.
The whole time this is going on, Basana Bumblecup is laughing hysterically. She looks down at Doris and she says, "You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it at all." And she looks at you though, Twig, and she says, You and me can be friends. Now we'll go back to the Scuttling Ruins. Monty, what'd you get for initiative?
23.
That's a good roll. Much better than their roll. So you're going first. Savannah and the rest of your crew, Savannah, you'll be coming in at the beginning of the second round.
Monty take the quick step back, and then he sort of reassures himself and then stands strong. And as just a free action, he's going to press the little button on his blunderbuss, and he goes, "Hyperpowers, optimize!" And then you imagine that there's like a sort of anime transformation.
Do you do
sequence,
like a henshin?
And there's sort of like a spin, and then pose, and and his blunderbuss starts glowing more ornately, and it has sort of looks like panels on it, and around him, look kind of like it's red like his helmet. It sort of makes the helmet make more sense in context. It's like armor from the X-Men.
Yep.
Armor. And so I think to anyone, I know, right? And but I think to anyone present who has seen Charette, it's like a very, very like much lower tier version of
it's Wish
Charette.
Charette.
I mean, like Charette has like all the bells and whistles. Charette is the like the Mercedes-Benz of art. This is like functional, like standard issue.
Nissan Altima.
Yeah, Nissan Altima is perfect. It is a sensible armoring, and he cocks the shotgun, the blunderbuss, and he aims it at like the cat that is sitting on top of the meat mimic, apparently. And
mimic is what you're guessing.
Yeah. And then he goes, Optimo Quedo, go! And he fires this burst of, it's like red force beams, like laser buckshot at this cat. So this is a.
So does it come out in like a singular blast and then like breaks up into tiny little force balls, buckshot?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And so he. I'm going to roll that. That's going to be it's going to be a bursting shot. That's a 24 to hit.
Yes.
All right. So that's going to be, that's 15 force damage. Initially, and then when it strikes, it like explodes again in a 10-foot radius, and everything within that 10-foot radius, including the original target, take awesome. 8 force damage.
So the one you shoot like loses its shape of a cat. And as a cat like turns inside out and it like takes the damage and then kind of slowly is trying to reform back into a cat. A bunch of the ones that took the buckshot, they scamper away. They're just like, nope, no thanks. Nope. I don't want to do this right now. I'm satiated with food. I don't need to do this. So you have 6 that stick around, not including the one that took the massive amount of damage, and they circle you.
Okay, he has another act.
Make your other action.
Does it look like
you're a fighter?
He's a fighter. He's an arcane archer fighter. So the next shot, he's going to use sharpshooter on the next shot. He's going to fire at the central mass cat thing.
Trying to reform.
-5 + 5, 23 to hit.
Yeah.
And that's going to be.
Their AC is only 15, dude. So don't get to worry.
Okay. That is 12, 17, 27 force damage.
So as it's trying to reform itself, you just splat it like an 80s splatter movie. It's just gore going everywhere.
Cool growth. And then he's gonna use his movement to try to just get behind like cover.
You're basically gonna like go backwards, like run backwards to get back behind cover.
Yeah.
Perfect. So Savannah, you guys hear this boof, boof, and you see Monty coming backwards. Like,
it's a medic!
Strategically retreating, blunderbuss in hand, that's still smoking. And that's when you see the shapes that are coming out of the low-hanging fog. In fact, you'll still get to go in it the beginning of next round, but you are now in a combat situation now. So they're all going to attack. There's what? 1, 2. There's 5 of you, and there's 6 of them. Well, I don't think an 11 hit any of you, but I know that a crit and a 20 did. So I would like, and that's just their first attack. Either you can do it, Savannah, or Monty, you can do it. I want you to roll a D4
I'll roll a d4.
for the first one.
1.
Okay. Savannah, you can roll the second one.
Ugh, thanks, I hate it. 3.
Okay. From there, I want. Well, I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, you do. Monty, high low.
Low.
Okay. The crit is on Ink. The other hit is on you.
Okay.
So let's do this first hit first, just because I've got so many boys in action. So they kind of creep up through this fog and they're rushing you, and from different orifices and spots, pseudopods come flying out. But again, it only got you, Monty, and Ink. So a 14 on Monty, and a 10 on Ink, and you are now adhered.
Adhered.
You're basically grappled
Okay.
because their pseudopods are sticky.
Sure.
They're gonna make, so they'll make, those two will make their attacks at advantage. The second attack, so they're gonna do that now. Second attack on you misses, but the second attack on Ink hits. He'll take an additional 7. All right, so the second attack on the rest of you. So on Savannah, ooh, oh, you're lucky. I was almost a 20, and then it rolled to an 8. Chicken, miss. I think that's everybody. Let me make sure here. Yep, that's everybody. Okay. So right now, Monty, you've got like a pseudopod has latched onto one of your arms, and for Ink got 2 pseudopods, and this cat thing is pulling him and itself together. So we're at the beginning of the second round. Monty, you'll go first. Savannah and crew will go second. Then the cat mimics will go third.
All right. Monty will take stock of the situation, maintain calm, and tactically evaluate. And he will take his first shot at the one that has Ink trapped.
So take your shot at. Just take a -2 to your roll because you're you're grappled. So you're just
grapple. I thought grapple is just your movement. Like you just can't move.
That's a good question. Let me look really quick.
Incapacitated is different. Or
Yeah, I'm pretty
restrained.
sure. Right.
Sorry, restrained is what I'm thinking. Restrained is different. If he's restrained, he's restrained. But like,
no, it's just grappled.
Okay, I'm pretty sure grappled is just movement.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So Monty will. So sorry, I bumped the dice. I'm gonna roll that.
No, that's fine.
All right, that's a 15 to hit. This is a sharpshooter shot.
Yep.
So that is going to be a lot of damage to the kitty. That is nope, those were bad rolls. That is 19 force damage.
Yeah, I mean the one that's shooting you is still attached, but it's gonna have to recoalesce. So they only get 1 attack this round.
So is the one that's got Ink still up?
Oh, you said the one was on Ink. That's right. It's still attached. Yeah, but it's it's going to have to spend one of its attacks coming back together.
Okay, he'd rather it just fall apart. So he'll fire at it again. It's another sharpshooter shot. I rolled a 19, so it's a lot. It's a lot.
Oh, remember we're doing Crimson Escalation. It's the second round, so that would be a crit.
Oh, shoot. Okay. That's going to be a lot of damage. Just
It's
FYI.
the same one, you just blow it up.
Yeah, it's dead. It's because that's a sharpshooter's plus 10 to damage.
Yeah, it's like comedically blown
Yeah.
up. Like again, there's like 80s like Dead Alive going on.
Yeah.
In fact, Ink is like, oh god, I'm never gonna get this out of my fur. Oh,
It's okay. It's not on you anymore.
thank you, I guess.
Sure, no problem. Let's see, do I have any fun bonus actions? No, not really. I'm still pretty okay. That'll be his turn.
Perfect. Savannah, what are you doing?
Savannah is going to go after one of them, and as she does, she's going to also point so that the rust monsters go after some of them too.
So when you point like that, they kind of look at you like, what? They just kind of look at you like with this confused look, like, what? Like then they look at each other, then they look at you, they look at the Tessa worm, they look at you, like, what do you want?
Damn it. The pseudopods are sticky, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to actually use my action this time to pull a couple pieces of junk out of the satchel and like stick them to a couple of pseudopods.
Yes. Get inspiration for that. That's
Yay!
amazing. Once you take the junk out, you like hold it in front of them and you just throw it into the pseudopod. They just gallop off towards it, and the test worm looks at you like, "What is wrong with you?"
Unfortunately, that's gonna be the action for the round, but worth it, honestly.
Do you have any move action, bonus, anything like that you want to do?
Oh, you know what? Actually, hang on one second. I can. I'm going to use integrated protection and take an action surge so that I can take an additional action.
Perfect.
And attack one of these jackasses with my rapier. Because that sounds fun. I'm pretty sure 22 hits.
Yeah.
9 piercing damage.
You like stab through one of the pseudopods, and it's kind of like stabbing non-cooked squid with a fork. It just kind of,
Ew.
yeah.
Delicious.
I also would like you to roll me 2 20-sided dice, please.
Oh, the baby. One is a 16 and one is a 9.
Eni just chomps through this pseudopod.
Heck and chomps.
Meanie's too busy like eating the piece of metal. Like, Meanie's like, yeah, you go ahead and do that. I'm gonna actually eat this food right here. You eat the grub, I'm gonna eat the grub.
It's like a TikTok. There's 2 types of dog.
Yeah. It very, very much is that sort of situation.
Fuck you, my child is completely fine.
So let's take a look at what your classmates are doing. Chicken kind of hops up on a couple boxes and gets high and pulls herself to the roof, and just you hear this whistling sound, and you hear it before it hits, and then you hear a boof. Chicken launches a sling bullet, and when it hits the cat, the mimic cat, it takes a second, but it detonates it from the inside. And
Dope.
Chicken looks down and looks down at all of you and goes, so it's like that, huh? Ink, uses his attack. Oh, and is actually able to cut the last pseudopod off of him. And he's like scampering backwards, like, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Gross, covered, gross, get it off. And that's their turn. I want you both to make me perception checks at disadvantage, please.
Oh, at disadvantage.
Because it's a lot of chaos going on right now.
9.
9.
You're kind of like you hear something,
Synergy.
Right.
you hear something kind of getting louder, but you're not sure what it is because you're in the middle of this huge mess. So I'm going to make my attacks really quick. I'm going to roll like butts. I didn't roll anything over a 7.
Love to see
On their
it.
second attacks. Got 2 crits and a 19, so I got 3 hits coming. I will allow you two to decide where those hits get divvied up to.
Between the whole group?
Between you two and Ink.
Monty will take the
Taking us
crits.
out he'll take both of. He'll take 2 of them. We take the crits. Or there's 3 hits, 2 crits and a 19.
I'll take both crits.
Both
Okay,
crits?
hang on. Unwavering mark.
Also, you just got an inspiration too, Shannon.
Oh, yay.
You have
That's
one a second.
true.
You have one right now, so you can make me re-roll one of those crits,
Okay, let's make you re-roll one of the crits
which
first.
is now a miss. So just
Okay,
one crit and a
perfect.
19.
So the 19, let me see. Who's it gonna attack, Ryan? We gotta figure this out.
I think Monty was going to take both of them.
I can take both attacks.
Okay, well, I'm going to try
Oh, my
and use. Hang on, I'm gonna try and use Unwavering Mark. Add 1 to your armor class.
The 19 won't hit me anymore.
Yeah, the 19
Okay.
will hit.
Perfect. And I can I can actually do it one more time. Ah, boom. Add 7 to your armor class.
Ooh, that might.
That's 26 now.
Yeah, then only the crit hit. That was awesome. That's really cool.
That's dope as hell.
All right. Well, with that changes things a little bit, huh? It's gonna be. Oh, you know what? That 19 would have been a crit too.
Mm.
So actually, you avoided 2 crits. That's pretty awesome.
Whew.
I'll give you an inspiration for the teamwork there, guys.
Nice.
If you already have one, it'll go to Ryan.
I already have one.
Oh, you both have one? Well, then you get nothing and like it.
You get nothing. Good day, sir.
I said good day! For 19 points of damage, and you're adhered. You're grappled.
Okay. That's okay. I'm okay.
You guys are up, and it's 18 is the new crit mark.
All right. Monty is going to bonus action second wind. So he'll get some hit points back. He'll get 12 hit points back. And then he will fire at the one that is on him. He's got gunner, so he can make him at point blank range. These are sharpshooter attacks. Let's make both of them now. I rolled 2 19s.
2 crits. So let's not even do damage. You destroy this thing.
The
only thing that's left is the tentacle hanging off your arm.
Gross.
You hear Ink, who's kind of crouched beside you with his 2 like cool like triple daggers on a half circle. Goes, damn, I gotta get one of those.
No, they're pretty cool. You should totally get one.
Savannah, you're up.
All right. How many are left?
3.
3?
And 2 of them do not look good.
Okay. Well, that's because they're. Are those the ones that the breast monsters are on?
One is being eaten by
One is being eaten by
Tom,
Rust
the
Monster.
monster.
Okay, nom nom nom. We'll leave that one be because he's having a good old time. She's gonna go after one with her rapier. And come on, 18 to hit.
Yes.
And 8 piercing damage.
Yep.
Perfect. And then
It's looking a little rough at this
looking
point.
a little rough. Looking a little rough. All right, I like that. I'm good with that. We're gonna do one more attack on martial versatility. I'm gonna use that. She's going to just for show because she's really trying to impress Ink. She wraps one hand around her midsection where there's like these coils kind of like around her waist, and it goes, and it's like this whip of like cord that's been like held around her, and she's going to use that to attack.
Holy crap, that's cool.
She's literally just trying real hard to get his attention.
You hear from above
22.
you, when you hear from above you, you hear Chicken go, damn.
22 to hit.
Yes.
And 5 slashing damage.
That's just enough to sever off the pseudopod that the rust monsters are just decimating. And that one actually will then scamper away, limp away. I want Monty and Savannah to make me another perception check, this time not a disadvantage.
Cool. 15.
9.
Monty's like getting his next shot ready. Like
He's just his
also
visor.
Gotta be basking a little bit in the glow of like how well this is going.
His visor is literally just covered in gore.
Like a pair of rec specs.
It has little windshield wipers.
And Ink is like looking at Savannah like, what? And but Savannah, you've stopped as you're like getting ready to look over at him and see if he's paying attention.
100%. She's gonna try to be real like cool about it, but probably not be.
And instead, you feel the Tessa worm on your shoulder, and its head turns when your head turns, and you see Shell sprinting down the street, going, "Run, run, run!" She like flips her way past the remaining mimic cats, slides to a stop behind you guys, and go. We got guys.
Where?
Gotta go. And you're now
Nod.
like, boom, 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 like to the point where it's kind of shaking the street a little bit.
Love this for us. Okay. Slipping the whip back in, rapier away.
You hear Chicken. You can see Chicken looking down the street, and then Chicken starts to just slowly move backwards and goes, "Damn!"
I love that Chicken is turning into like Samuel L. Jackson.
I love Kenku so much. They're like one of my favorites. Oh my god, you have no idea. It's giving me life. Are my rust monsters paying attention?
No, they're eating.
Oh
You
Christ.
see the other mimic cats just shoot off. They don't even scurry. They sprint away in abject terror.
Can I scruff like both of them while they're eating
So
and like
you
start
run up
running?
and you scruff them, and their little legs are still moving, and their little antennae are still going. You turn and you look down the street, and you see a house that has grown legs, and it is running at you, and the entire front porch is formed into a gaping maw, and it's just going nom nom nom.
Oh.
Like
Pac-Man
Pac-Man,
noises.
yeah.
Waka waka waka.
And you kind of look over your shoulder for a second, and you see Ink, Shell, and then Chicken above you looking down from the roof. And Ink goes, "I think we should run now. I think it's time to go." And Chicken goes, "Time to go!" and jumps off the roof and starts running back towards the gate. Shell is like grabbing you and pulling, like, "Let's go!"
running.
Monty,
Breast
what are you
monster in
doing?
each hand.
Monty's going to lay down some suppressing fire when it gets into. When it gets into
Fire.
60 feet.
Yeah, fire away.
All right. Better be able to hit a house with my gun. All right. That's going to be 2 shots. Those are pretty good rolls. I rolled a 17 and a 10. So that's a 15 and a 22 with sharpshooter.
They both hit, thank God.
And this is a grasping shot. So it'll take 2d6 extra poison damage. And it's messed up for a minute. But I'll get to that in a second. I'll go damage first. Right. First one is 21 4th damage plus 10 poison damage. And then the second shot is 22 more 4th damage. And the house monster is the speed is reduced by 10 feet.
I'm sorry. Monster house.
Monster house, the monster house, and we hadn't been properly introduced. Its speed is reduced by 10 feet, and it takes 2d6 slashing damage first time it moves on its turn. They last for a minute unless it uses an action to make an athletics check.
It kind of rumbles, and you see what happens is like stops, and then it's like watching a cat hack up a hairball, and it's just like its tongue is like lolling out. It's like 15 feet wide, or 50 feet long, and like 5 feet wide, and it's like trying to get the force off of it, like it's trying to figure out, did it just get like stung by something? And it's just kind of like all the little eyes in the window, like each window is full of like 10 eyes looking out at you. It looks like it's really make it really uncomfortable. So then you feel Shell's hand on your belt, and she's tiny, and she is moving you.
That's okay.
You don't have time.
I was gonna go, but okay. Thank you for the help with the running.
You guys both make me an acrobatics check, please.
Okay.
To get through the streets.
That's a 12. 10. And a 12.
Monty, what'd you get?
10.
Just what you needed. It takes you guys a little more time because Monty, you keep turning around and kind of firing suppressing fire into the fog. Hindsight being 2020, I probably end up helping you guys quite a bit from other things in the fog. You make it back to the gate, which is now being held slightly ajar by Rosine, who has this youngish, like mid-20s human kind of crying on the floor, like looks like he's completely just in shock. And Mistress Listend is just kind of, she's sitting on a barrel and like cleaning her nails, and she's like, "Oh, you made it!"
Do you leave the gate open? I can finish this house off.
No, that won't be necessary.
Oh, you don't need to do it. You need more training exercises.
She says, "But I'm very impressed. I mean, I'm not so impressed that you win top marks today, because that goes to Rosine, who understood the lesson a little bit more. But I am very impressed with the sheer amount of distraction and chaos you caused."
Sorry, did you say distraction or destruction?
Both.
Cool.
So, for the whole class, what do you think is more important when you're trying to do, for lack of a better term, a abduction or even a robbery? Is it better to take the smash and grab approach, to just roll in and kick down doors and shoot fancy things? Or is it better to use a distraction, find your mark, and slip out before anyone knows you were there.
Probably the second one. Probably the second one. I feel like that's where you're going with this.
Ink has his fingers over his eyes, and he's still like wiping dead cat mimic off of himself with his other paws and beans, and he goes, "Damn it!" And you chicken then does the same thing with her hand. Damn it!
I mean,
Now looks at Savannah and Monty and goes, "I had fun."
I had a good time. It was pretty good. We were actually pumping the local cat population for information about the whereabouts of the person, and then they tried to eat us. So
saving lives.
Saving lives. We didn't really smash and grab. It was more of a they tried to grab us, so we smashed them. So the grab and smash.
Fair enough. There is no right answer. It's just a matter of playing to your skills.
Sure. Yeah.
And Rosine looks at all of you and she goes, "Or no skills."
But
She's
you
like,
don't have any
"Hey,
skills?
that place was terrifying. You guys made it out." She puts her hands up and her wings kind of flap out, and she's like, "No disrespect."
No disrespect by the no skills comment. Okay, no, that's cool. That sounds very non-confrontational, and no offense. It's sort of the thing you'd say just to make small talk if you have no skills. So that's cool.
Your test worm moves over and starts kind of trying to cuddle up against the civilian who's in the fetal position, so crying over this horrific experience.
Passive aggressive.
She's like, Rosine looks at you and she goes, "Yeah, passive aggressive, actually." She goes, "That's why I didn't have to kill any of the mimics." And then her owlin head turns unnaturally as she's walking away. So she's almost looking backwards at you guys, and then she winks. Meanwhile, back with Amulet. Amulet, Dresk, and you follow Keska. And you follow her outside of the urban area of liminal space. You cross the bridge and you're heading more towards where Lake Nowhere is. And then you take a hard right, and the massive form of the infinite hallway looms over you. So large, the closer you get, it actually blocks out the glowing light of the Shadu in the sky.
It's kind of cool.
It's very cool. You no tell anyone about. Do we understand one another?
Sure.
Dress kind of laughs and goes, "Who am I going to tell?" So Keska walks up and she has her ring and she places it up against the door, and you hear this series of locks unlock, and she makes her way into the infinite hallway.
Can I get one of those?
You have one.
I have a ring that does that?
It's the ring that Father gave us.
Oh, sweet.
Sometimes I wonder why
Just thought you had a cool new ring. Like special for
no,
just
it's
you.
cool old ring. You have cool old. You are a sister.
Yeah, I know.
Little sister, you have ring.
I didn't know it could be used for that, but now I know. This is important. You're teaching me things.
You're not supposed to know.
Oh.
So, shh.
Okay.
How secret work is.
All right.
You are told, and then never say anything again about it.
Fine. Yeah. Okay.
Bresk is just kind of just like hand over his face, just kind of going, "Oh my God." So she makes sure the door shuts behind both of you. This is just a spiral staircase that seems to go on infinitely. And beside the wall is just a series of mirrors. I am not the biggest fan of mirror, more Nigella thing. but is new transportation.
Where are we
If
going?
you know where right mirror is, and you have key, which could be anything, you can go anywhere. She beckons you over, and you look down the spiral staircase, the center of it, and there's nothing. Like it goes down forever.
Like dark, or like you could just see mirrors, 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 mirrors.
You can see the spiral of the staircase, and then the kind of glint off the mirrors. Every like 3 times on a floor, there's an overhanging like lamp, like a gas lamp.
So what happens if you don't know where you're going?
And you have working key.
Yeah.
I think a bad thing happened to you.
Oh.
Get
So it has,
lost, no way come back.
so it hasn't happened to you.
Little sister, I try to teach you, be prepared. I do not go place I do not know. I do not have death wish. So, if you want to go somewhere, what do?
You have to know where you're going, and you need the key.
Good. Sometimes I think I cannot get anything through your thick candy skull, but see, then you prove me wrong.
I'm always listening.
But do you always understand what you hear? Biggest question.
50-50.
You walk down. It seems like you're walking forever. Occasionally you see things in these mirrors because they become less mirrors when you get closer to them, and they become more windows.
Oh, cool.
And you see different worlds, you see different places, you see different planes. It's almost, it's like walking through Matt's basement. It's almost too much.
No one's gonna get that.
If you're on Tiny Ming on Tuesdays, you will, and you've seen pictures or let him take video of that, you've seen it. It is a lot. Shaggy does, he knows. You're going down and you stop. She stops you, and Sue's like as well. And she, off of her necklace, she pulls out a tooth. It's a longer tooth. It's not human. And she presses it up against the mirror, and the mirror kind of ripples like you're touching the surface of a liquid. And you look beyond it, and you can see this blighted, fiery landscape. And the view of this pulls into a massive tower. And around the tower, off the top of it, are 5 distinct dragon heads. It's like statues.
Shit.
She says, now is time when you bow on the one knee. And she pulls you down as she does the same.
Okay. Did we step through, or are we like still on our side?
You're still on your side.
Okay.
You see a massive red dragonborn sitting on a throne, wearing almost like scuffed obsidian armor, so you can see where all the dings and dents in it are, and the creases and the marks, because you can see the silver of the metal underneath. The biggest thing you notice is one of his hands is wrong.
One of his hands?
One looks like a normal dragonborn hand. The other is this dissected green, dead-looking hand.
But on the right way? It's not like
Yep.
too... Okay.
No, it just looks like it's not his hand.
Okay. Do I have any idea who this is? Okay.
This is an introduction. He stands up. You see around him there is a massive turtle who has a skull painted on his face, and a minotaur whose fur is almost too black, and they're both kind of flanking him. He gets up off of his throne. He walks towards the mirror, and then Keska has you stand with her and you walk through the mirror.
I feel like I'm going to get detention for this.
Dresk does not walk with.
Why not?
You don't know.
Can I look back at him?
You look back and he's just there. You can see the shape of him through this kind of very almost liquidy plane. You stand there. You hear Keska say, "Eyes down, little sister."
Okay.
This massive dragonborn walks around. You can hear the clinking of the armor as he does so, and kind of the snort, not of derision, but of interest. The lady says, "You're her new project." Keska elbows you. "Talking to you."
I didn't think I should talk.
Answer when spoken to. Speak when spoken to.
Yeah, she told me I was her project. Yeah.
You.
I don't know what it means.
What I've heard and understand is you can walk between worlds. No spell, no device.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's a handy thing to be able to do.
I mean, I don't know if I know how I do it though. That might be important to know.
Yes. I want to know is, can you do it when requested on command?
I don't know yet. I need more practice.
He reaches down and his gross, smelly, green, undead humanoid hand lifts your chin so you're looking at it. He goes,
I'll try not to smell it all.
Well, what good are you to me if you can't do it when I need you to?
I'm not saying I
He
can't.
turns his massive head and he just stares at Keska, and she looks down.
I'm not saying I can't. I just have to. I think I can. Maybe.
You're going to do what the Dark Queen requests. And I am the hand of the Dark Queen. I will be making use of you, child of Kryn. You should learn how to ensure you can. Just understand, Cassandra, it's an arcan, not an arcant. That's for you, warrior. Do you want to, I mean, like when this undead appendage touches you, it actually chills you to the bone.
Mm-hmm. Not like a scared thing though, because I can't be scared.
Not scared.
Right?
It physically is cold. Like it feels like it's sapping the life out of you.
Does it look like the hand of something I've run into before? Like some
Nothing.
other creature or species or...
Human.
It looks like a human hand, but it's green though. You said it...
It's old. It's undead. It's an undead hand.
It's got a zombie hand. Does it do anything else when it touches me?
Not currently. Do you have anything you want to respond to, or is this conversation pretty much done? which is fine. I just wanted to know because I kind of cut you off with a terrible pun.
No.
Which you obviously did not get, which is fine.
I did not, and Twig and Monty are freaking out in the chat, and I think I'm missing a reference
You are.
to like some old cartoon that I don't think I ever watched, or
Nope, you're it's not a cartoon at all.
I'm missing something and I haven't figured out what it is yet.
Yep.
And when I do, I'm probably gonna freak out. So, but in the moment, I don't understand, and I feel like Amulet doesn't understand either.
Amulet would have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy, she's real worried about making people unhappy.
This would be someone you do not want to make unhappy.
Yeah, I know. She's getting that. Like
so while you try to figure out what
Yeah.
you want to do, Twig,
Mm-hmm.
back in your class, what do you want to? How do you want to react? You've just basically kind of one-upped Bellish. I managed to save Doris.
Yeah, so now that Doris is kind of behind me, this class is not for your food.
Bellish kind of smiles and nods and says, I'm afraid you have missed some of the lesson, Mr. Swift Strike. I am what you would look at as an apex predator. Everything is my food, should I choose it to be. The mask of civility I wear is simply to make you comfortable thinking you're not.
Wow. I'm definitely not going to make that mistake. And you'll
No.
need to be careful. Your food may bite back.
He goes from kind of like almost this admonishing, disappointed look to a massive smile, toothy grin, and says, I'm going to let you all go early today because I'm still famished. And as you can see, I have a smorgasbord of food in front of me. But you could all learn something from Mr. Twig Swift Strike. Even though we're related, I'm paying you absolutely no advantage over the rest of the students. But I can't tell if you're youthfully naive or you're that brave. Either way, I'm proud. Class dismissed. And then starts to feed on the old woman.
Gonna pretty much usher everybody out of there. That's not his food.
You get out of the room, and Bosana is still just kind of giggling. She's just like, she looks at everybody but you, and she says, what a bunch of Phoebes. Why do you think we're here? Do you think we're here because they want to take care of us? We're being forged into weapons. None of you have the steel to be what you need to be. And I have no interest in watching all of you die like stupid animals led to slaughter. And she walks over and she puts her arm around Twig and she's like, this guy gets it. And if you can't, then I'm just going to leave you behind. And she walks away. She looks back over her shoulder and she says, you coming? The other two like look at you like,
No, we're all going to work together. We'll get through this. And I'll kind of usher everybody away.
She walks away in a different direction. She says, your dead weight's not going to drag me down. I hope it doesn't make you drown when you need to swim. And then she laughs and walks away. Aragorn kind of slowly, as you guys get outside, I believe you're in the annex. As you move away from the building and more towards where the food carts and other like sundry wares are, Aragorn sort of kind of meanders away on his own, just kind of talking to himself. He looks pretty shook up. Like you're not sure what he saw, but it bugged him. And Doris is still kind of with you, and she's just kind of she's just almost like in a zombie-like state, as far as like you can tell she's just kind of walking on impulse power. Make me man, my brain is all over the place tonight. Make me a perception check, please.
That is 23.
You are kind of like thinking about what has just happened, but also taking in the sights and the sounds of the area. And when you do, you happen to catch out of the corner of your eye Cantaloo, who is one of your extended family from Mistara. He's a badger Hingoki, or Hingokai. He's got what looks to be a food stand, and he's just cooking up a storm.
All right, so I'll kind of lead. Is Doris the only one still with me?
Yeah.
All right, Doris, let's go over here. We can grab some food. Cantalou's real good.
Are you going to like steer her or just tell her?
I'm gonna say that, but I kind of steer her that way because I'm not sure she's.
Make me a nature check when you touch her arm.
I'll add that at some point. That is 4.
You touch her and she jumps backwards and she's like, "Don't touch me."
I'm sorry.
Then she kind of goes, "I'm sorry. Just I'm a little. I don't know."
Nah, I get it. That was not good. Let's go get some food. I think you need something to eat.
Okay. So you make your way over there. There's a little bit of a line, but he kind of beckons you up towards the side of the cart and says, "What'll it be?"
And the special's always good. What's it today?
Oh, Twig. It wouldn't be special if I told you, would it?
All right, let's get 2 of them.
All right. And he just goes to work. The line starts to die down. And after about 15 minutes, he brings you over both 2 little, not little, but I mean like regular size plates, but they're like, they're kind of like the size of plates, but it's kind of almost like cloth used as a delivery device. And you see like these balls that look to have been deep fried, like look like there's some kind of, meat and dough. There is this grain that you're not familiar with. It just all smells amazing.
Oh, that smells great. I think I'm gonna love this. I'll start eating.
She kind of looks to you and she kind of whispers, is there maybe something a little less done?
Sure.
He goes, "Oh, like it to still try to run away, do you?" That's how I like it too. A lot of these people, they just don't have the stomach for it. I'll be right back. It takes him about 5 or 6 minutes, and he brings back some meat with some type of root vegetable, but the meat looks like it's been slapped on the butt, stuck in front of a fire, and taken right off. And she goes, "I really appreciate it." And she starts to reach into her pouch on her belt. Like she's going to. Are you going to let her pay?
Oh, no, it's not me.
She goes, "Oh, okay." And Ken Lou puts his hand out like,
Yeah, I mean, what's the price?
You look on the board, and it looks like it's for both of these, it's probably like 4 silver.
All right, I will give him a gold.
You give him a gold, and he holds onto your hand, and he sleight of hands the coin right back into your hand.
I know.
He heads back over, and with a smile on his face, he kind of looks back and winks at you, and then heads back over to his stand. And he's like cleaning some stuff up. she kind of looks at you and she's like, "This is how do you know him?
He's from my my homeland.
This is really good. Do you eat like this all the time?"
I mean, he's great. We have lots of good cooks here.
So she's eaten like the root vegetables, and she kind of looks nervously around, and she's got this thing kind of flipped over the back of her hair, like it's like a piece of cloth. It's almost like when she turns it around, it like drops into a veil, and she pulls it over when she begins to eat the meat. She's like, sorry, it's just it's a custom.
Nah, it's cool. No worries. And he's not going to try to pry, even though I want to.
So you guys begin eating, and you're kind of just chit-chatting back and forth, and you see a group of Kenku make their way up to Can't Lose stand. Make me a insight check. They're a little bit far away, and they're speaking very quietly.
18.
But you catch the gist of it, both from the words you're catching and the body language. They're shaking him down for money.
How old are they? I assume not students.
They're adults.
How is he reacting to this?
At first, it's kind of like when there's just two of them, he looks kind of like, all right. And he's kind of cleaning a big wok pan, and he's also starting to look, he's holding it menacingly. And then out of the crowds as they're moving around, there's 7 more. And at that point, he just kind of goes, all right. He pulls out his little coin bag, and he pulls out some of it and slides it underneath his massive hand across.
All right, before he can do that, I'm going to kind of walk over. Hey, Kenlu, how's it going?
He looks at them like out of the side of his eye, looks down at you, and he goes, good, Twig. I'm really busy with customers right now, though. Maybe we can talk a little bit later.
They'll be fine. They don't mind. Do ya?
They don't answer, and they turn and look at you, look down at you with just black, emotionless, cold eyes. And one of them steps out of the crowd within your view sight and pulls back its robe, and it's just got a line of daggers in its belt.
I'll put out my hand and say, hi, I'm Twig, and then I'll make my rapier appear in my other hand.
Okay. They do not seem to be surprised.
Okay.
They also are starting to circle. The rest of them are fanning out and circling around the cart.
Sounds about right.
Cantloo looks at you and he looks at them and goes, we don't need to, it doesn't need to be like this. And he bends down and he says, this is not the time nor place, my friend. I appreciate it. I really do. But if you got hurt and I had to explain it to your father, I could never live with myself. So let's not do this right now, please. I'm thank you. Honest mistake. Just one of the exceptional students from the school, just being exceptional. So, and they kind of cackle one another at each other, and then they pull the coins into a bag, and they walk away. And in turn, each one of them looks back at you one at a time, and the last one stops, and then just does this at you, and then they walk into the crowd.
I'll just wave back. Be seeing ya.
Cantloo goes, well, I for sure will be now. Then we go back to Amulet. Amulet, what was your response?
Amulet doesn't know who this is, right?
No, I've already said that. Amulet has no idea.
Has no idea. When would you need me to use this? So I need to know how long I can practice.
I'll let you know. Your handler, and he looks at Keska and he says, well, I'll be in touch.
If I get a little notice ahead of time, that'd be great.
You'll get it. Just as long as you do what's required, child of Kryn.
Inside her head and not out loud, Amulet goes, but I wonder what happens if I don't. She's not going to say it, though. She's aware that she can't say that.
He slowly lets her chin down, and he looks at Keska, who's like looking straight ahead, very, very militaristically. And he says, I'll be in touch until then. And she turns on her heel, and she kind of uses her hand to turn you as well. And you start to walk to the portal, and you hear the voice goes, oh, one more thing. Your father says hello. And then the portal shuts behind you.
What?
You're back in the infinite hallway. And Keska takes a visible, like,
what did he mean by that?
we just visited Avernus.
No,
My accent is terrible tonight.
my dad. What did he mean by my dad?
Our father. Tawny.
Oh, okay.
Not your little person father. Real
Well,
dad.
Tawny's Uncle Tawny. It's just, okay. As long as my dad's okay.
Isn't he? There's nothing that I do not know that he is not okay.
I'm hoping he's okay. He's kind of a curious guy, though, so.
Curiosity will get you killed, little sister.
I'm doing okay so far.
She actually smiles at you this time. You did very well.
Okay, question. What happens if I can't teleport when he needs me to?
Most likely, Archon the Cruel will have us both flayed alive.
Shit. Oh, that's a bad word. I'm sorry.
His word. Shit. It's word. See, no bad thing happened.
Okay, don't tell my mom I said that, though.
I do not know this mom you speak of.
Oh, remember? Oh, you weren't there. You're supposed to come over to Sunday dinner. My parents said to invite you.
What is Sunday dinner? I do not know. Dress is just kind of like leaned up against the wall, just slightly laughing.
Everybody gets together, and then my parents cook dinner, and then you show up, and then you eat it with us, and you have small talk around the table, and they get to know you because they like to know the people I hang out with.
People you hang out with. I am your sister. We do not hang out.
I mean, my parents don't understand that concept.
Siblings.
I know, but my parents don't get that yet. They're new, remember? They just got here.
They sound like a burden.
They want you to come have supper with us. It's free food.
So let Keska get straight. They are inviting me into their home.
And dressed too.
She just kind of like scoffs at that, and he's like, almost looks like, fuck you. She's like, invite me into their home.
Yeah.
They are going to ply me with food and drink.
Okay.
And then evaluate whether or not Keska is good influence on Amulet.
I mean, I don't know if they're, maybe. I think they just want to know you because I've said your name. It's free food. You can't eat my family, though.
I am not monster. I am
Just
Yankee.
Just saying.
I do not eat people.
I don't
Racist.
know if you've ever done Sunday dinner. Don't know if you know how this works.
Oh, so you think if Yankee eat people for Sunday dinner?
No. Just
why say such mean thing, little sister?
There's so many people here you don't even know anymore. You just lay ground rules.
You wound me when you say things like this.
But then you should come to dinner.
You know how much you wound me? Can you not see the wound?
Here, I pull out my last pie and I give it to her.
She begins eating. She goes, there is no wound. Does not hurt feeling at all. Jessica just wants pie. And then she like tassels your hair.
It's my last one.
And that's when you hear this very odd noise below. And she like stops you and she throws the pie to Dresk. And you hear footsteps, and then you hear the footsteps stop. And then you hear this gurgling sound.
Ugh.
She bends down on one knee and she looks at you and she says, "Little sister, first sister, do you have fearlessness in heart?
Yeah.
Then follow."
Oh, shit.
And you start to head down the stairs, and it takes a little while, and now it sounds like someone's slowly pouring a bucket of water out. And you come to another section of the stairwell, to the hall, to the stairwell, and you look and you see Norhand. And she's on her knees in front of a mirror. And this form is coming out of the mirror, choking her to death. And you look as it happens, the person steps out of the mirror, and it's Norhand.
Wait, what?
All right, let's make our way to let's make our way really quick back to Bitopia for our Akko check-in. Akko.
Hi. Hello.
I've got so many notes, so it's going to take me a little bit of time to find your thing. All right. Skitch is looking at you, Akko, and he says, "So, what say? You want to help Skitch, help NG, sneak up of Bitopia, get back to Prime Material Plane?"
Why can't go now? Why need help?
Akko, no, we cannot leave. Stuck. Rules. There are rules keep us here. We are technically dead.
No one won. NG here can take elsewhere.
Oh, people want to keep NG here. People want to keep Akko here. People want to keep Skitch here.
Mad at NG for breaking rules. Is why Akko here.
Only rule NG break. Want to leave.
Why want keep her here?
NG, she turns and she like kind of, she notices she's sort of taking up the room again, like she's swirling around so there's no exits. And she kind of lazily puts her head on her own body and she says, "Well, my young friend, I may or may not have caused some problems on the Prime Material Plane, I don't know, millennia ago, before some axe-wielding vandal worshipping some or whatever god at the behest. Well, they tragically removed my head from my body.
Oh.
It was very sad. All my followers cried."
Maybe.
I didn't even fight back. I was actually kind of bored with the whole thing. And now I'm bored here, and I'd like to go back.
As say if die here, go somewhere else. Akko could chop head off.
No, I've tried it. Well, I haven't had you chop my head off, but I've tried it other ways.
I'm very good at chopping heads off.
That's what Skitch said. That's why you were recommended. Once he knew you were here, he said he for sure could get me out of here.
Seemed like no one want you here. Akko can take somewhere.
Someone is here keeping us all here.
What mean? It's because we dead.
But there's these things that keep us here. I don't know what you call them. I call them archons. I think Skitch, what did you call them? Oh, I call them angels. They are giant pain in the ass.
Angels?
Like guy you know who help you, who look like a bugbear, is not a bugbear. He actually looked like a dog with wings. Total dick.
When you see him last, look different now. Not dog. No
He
wings.
looked like anything. He
It's
angel.
bugbear.
But he can look like anything. He angel. He look like Dogman with flaming sword. Skitch see him with Dogman with wings. He look like Bugbear, all wizened and friendly. One time Skitch see him as crocodile. Very, very disturbing.
Seemed like bad call. Echo like dog
He can
sword better.
he carry a whole nest of heron eggs and mouth across river. Really weird.
So
He and Heron have long talk about the cycle of life. Skitch get bored. He was going to steal egg, but got
Echo.
really tired from listening to talky talk.
Echo like Baz. Why
Baz jailer, we in jail, friend.
dead?
Skitch find out death is just jail. Jailers suck.
This is well beyond Echo's grasp.
Think,
Dead is jail. He's like, okay, dead is jail.
think Echo about time when you get to go not where you want to go. You stuck. You must stay. Yeah, people above you say no, you no go, and you say, but I am Big Dog Echo. I go do what I want to do, and they say no, you is in lockdown. You stay here. That's what afterlife is like. That is jail.
This is what most life like.
Not for the Skitch, and not for Echo, and we can make sure not for NG.
Maybe.
What say you?
Maybe.
We pull big trick. Get out of heaven place.
What trick is easy to do? Just Echo can make go. One.
Skitch not believe. Skitch think Echo fib. Tell big tall story. Big dog story.
Echo stands up taller.
Yeah, too tall. Story even taller. It seemed like not true.
Echo
Seemed
can
like you
go.
tried to impress. You tried to make Skitch look bad in front of NG.
Echo can go.
Okay,
Why
then
you-
let's go. We go. We take NG with us, huh?
Go. Okay. Echo
All right,
will-
then. Agreed. Shake on it.
Sure.
Spits on his hand and puts his little hand out.
Gross.
Oh, he wipes it off and then puts his hand out again. All right, NG, we go. All right, on Storm Song. You just heard blood-curdling screams from beyond the door and down the hallway. It sounded as if someone was being terrified to death before choking, most likely on their own tongue, out of sheer horror. You hear bones break. You hear this horrific sound of a body being reshaped, for lack of a better term. And then dead quiet. And then on the Smile Room's door.
Who is it?
You hear like a cough, like a it's your third best friend, Charity. I'm gonna let you go now. I'm still so hungry, Charity. I'm so hungry. I can't stand it. I feel like it's eating me up from the inside. You should go. You should. And then the door is ripped off its hinges. And you see a massive shell, similar to what you think you looked like earlier, except for it's misshapen, as if it's not in a living thing, but like it's riding something that's dead and broken. And then the kitty touches your face very tenderly. Makes it all better.
She's a good girl. And then she bites me. What?
Keeping it real. Keep it 100.
What a butt. What did you do?
I needed a body. Now I have one, and now I'm hungry. So you should go.
You can't do this here. You can't do this.
That's too late. You should find somewhere a way out of here. I'll see you around. And he stands up straight, and you can hear the bones crack and move back into place. And he reaches and turns the arm all the way back around the right direction. And stands up and he goes, because it's dinner time. And he walks down the hall very, very slowly, whistling.
She walks out the door.
She crawls out the door.
Crawls out the door. Yes. Thank you. Good God. It's been a day.
And that's when the alarms start going off.
What kind of alarms?
The security alarms for the building.
Great. Please tell me he's not headed towards the Archmage's tower.
You're not sure. And as you sit there and try to kind of process everything, you hear another blood-curdling scream from the direction he just went. And then a body is thrown down the hallway. And that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
You put my child in a house of horrors?
That's right.
The worst.
All right. Please go around the table and tell everybody who you are, who you be with, and what you got going on.
All right. I'm Shannon. You can find me on the interwebs at Tangled Adventurer on TikTok and on Instagram. You can also catch me every other Thursday night right here, same week as down in Outlands, on Thursday night, 7 Central for Love Lost Chronicles. What's going to happen this week? We're not sure, but I can tell you there's a creepy old apothecary. There are strange things happening, and there will definitely be more grilled cheese. The official grilled cheese count is at... Sorry, this is important. I have to look this up. It is important. Our official grilled cheese count, I have a separate Discord channel just for this, is currently at 8. We are at 8 grilled cheeses.
That's lower than I thought it would be, to be honest
Listen, it was a wild session last time.
You're like, Linda, honey, please.
Linda, listen. No, tune in Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central. Super fun game, really fun crew. Thanks to everybody that's been hanging out. So I hope we see you again on Thursday for more grilled cheese shenanigans.
All right, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at CupidTheZombie. You can also find me tomorrow playing a little Drakeman Falls, my little Owlin Wizard Man. Yeah.
Such a good boy.
It's weird to be in this position, but I'm Warrior. You can find me at on the socials at WarriorMN. You can also find me tomorrow night right here, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I play Highland. He's a Minotaur sorcerer who's very chill and found something. So we'll find out together what that is. When I'm not here, you can find me on my own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/WarriorMN. I might be on tomorrow before Drakeman Falls, and I'll definitely be around Thursday sometime. So come check it out and hang out. Otherwise, you can find me at the FreeForge Discord, thefreeforge.com. And this Friday at 7:30, check out the second episode of a new show, Honor Roll, which is funny as hell. It's super good. The production is bananas on it. It's a kids on bikes actual play. So do check it out. So twitch.tv/thefreeforge, 7:30 p.m. Central on Friday.
So yeah.
I'm Cassandra. You can't find me anywhere. But here every 2 weeks, and actually I'm going to be on next week on Chaos Scar. So I'm going to play another time this month. I don't know officially what I'm playing yet. But you know me, it's probably going to be something a little beefy, maybe a little fightery, because that's what I like.
I'm your King Ginger, and I will be on Friday. Yeah, Bad Games. Maybe Beard and I talked about maybe doing Bad Games, but maybe doing like an Extra Life talk. Maybe we'll do it this week, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, if we play Bad Games, if we do Bad Games, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. You should know by now. I have nothing left in the tank.
Well,
that's past your bedtime.
Maybe you shouldn't have dropped so many bombs, motherfucker.
I don't know what I'll play. Maybe Carrion. Maybe Anvil Saga. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to try out. Hell, maybe we'll bust out some Knights of the Old Republic. Who knows?
Raft.
I don't think I have Raft actually. I do. Yeah, I think I would be awful at that game.
I think you know someone who probably has it. If you can
I think
convince him to play.
I've played it with Doug, but I think Doug owns it. I don't know.
You just have to convince him to play.
We'll see. Sunday, it's prep school. I know Matt's not going to be there. We were going to do some brainstorming on a Weird West game, but I'm going to hold that off until Matt can be there. Last Sunday, I don't know if whoever was there, thank you again, because our Hellboy 5e prep was bonkers. It was so good. We came up with some wild stuff. So maybe I'll just work on, I don't know, I'll prep on something, or maybe I'll see if anybody wants to come on and I can help them with their prep. Who knows? We'll have fun. We always do. We brainstorm. A week from tonight is the first episode of Chaos Scar. It'll be once a month, different casts, I think almost every episode, hopefully. And it should be really fun. I don't know which job they're doing yet, but they've got 5 to choose from, so we'll see what happens. Other than that, that next Tuesday I'll be on Tiny Mang, and I've been real busy making Mang lately. So yeah. Otherwise, I really want to say thank you to all the players. You guys are absolutely amazing as always. I want to say thank you to Casual Doug, who's always here in spirit. I want to say thank you to the Beard, because I can't not say thank you, and of course to everybody in the chat who popped in and out and who added their own flavor to the mix. As always, you guys are amazing. We'll see you in 2 weeks, because things can always get worse. Bye.